Organized retail crime pulling children into the ring.
And it's really sad for these children that they think this is extremely normal.
How a group of thieves in Leavenworth are making kids do the dirty work. Preying on underage girls and pretending it's part of a dare.
Trying to videotape them and engage in all sorts of lewd behavior.
What led detectives in Renton to zero in on a man accused of making disgusting videos. And a woman walking her cat on Christmas Day, hit by a car.
My cat must have witnessed the whole thing, the poor guy.
Her hope for catching the driver that left her with shattered bones. Tonight in the Spotlight.
The Spotlight brought to you by Beacon Plumbing.
Good evening, I'm David Rose. Thank you for joining us on The Spotlight. And we begin tonight with a warning about roving rings of Romani theft suspects. From fake jewelry scams on the side of the highways, to stealing from farms in Pierce County, to pulling off distract and grab thefts at stores. Law enforcement in our state has multiple open cases. And one shop owner in Leavenworth was having none of it when a suspected member of a Romani organized retail theft ring stole a coat, scarves, and gloves. She spotted that suspect on the street and confronted her.
You're not sorry. You're teaching your kids bad.
Okay, she wants to help you.
Why are you teaching your kids so bad? Can I have the rest of the things? Give me those back. No. Give me the rest.
No, have nothing.
Okay, what else did you steal?
Give you my kids?
I didn't ask for your kids.
No, have nothing. That's yours. Like this. No.
No. Did you? I don't want your things.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I don't want your things. No, I don't want your things.
I'll call the cops.
Call the cops, buddy. It's okay. Call the cops. Your mommy should go to jail.
She left without ever returning that jacket she's wearing that she was caught on camera stealing. That was the second theft involving this group. The owner of the Addition on Front Street and Twisted Couture gave us her surveillance video. It shows a woman in a green jacket walking around the store.
The lady just quickly went over to our luxury handbags, grabbed one for herself, shoved it in a jacket, and then left the store. The lady in the green jacket, she was over there with the children, and then another lady walked into the store wearing a black jacket, and she talked to the children for a moment, and that's when the children grabbed the bracelet and handed it to the lady in the green jacket.
Alyssa posted pictures of the woman in the green jacket on Facebook, and a member of the Street Scammer Watch group recognized her. She even spotted the suspect in a Facebook Live video of a group enjoying the sights and sounds of Leavenworth. She contacted Alyssa, who called Chelan County Sheriff's deputies. They found the suspect at the popular sledding hill and arrested her. The suspect told deputies she was from Romania and gave them several fake names.
I think it's disgusting, and it's really sad for these children that they think this is extremely normal.
Elena Velcu was arrested for organized retail theft and theft second degree. In court, she was released from jail on personal recognizance. Alyssa says 2 days later, a second theft happened at her other store, Twisted Couture, involving the woman you saw her confronting on the street. Watch the woman in white pushing a stroller. She wraps a scarf around her neck and then wraps a second scarf around her neck. Then she walks over to the coats, puts one on, and walks out of the store. Alyssa confronted her and says she had some items hidden in an empty baby stroller. Alyssa has this message for anyone who tries to steal from business owners in Leavenworth.
We're a small town, but we are mighty. Our community is amazing in Leavenworth, and our police are amazing, and they stand by us. And so I have felt quite the love and support.
Take one more look at that second suspect who was wearing the coat she just stole. Deputies say she has not been identified. If you know who she is, contact the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Now to Tacoma, where surveillance video shows the theft of an RV. It was home to a couple whose house had burned down, and a gas station owner was kind enough to let them park it there. The two suspects caught on camera, including one of the most prolific auto thieves in Pierce County, have been charged, but the owners have been left in limbo. As the Spotlight's Nia Wong reports, the victims are grateful the RV was recovered, but it was found crashed, trashed, and unlivable.
For Rosie Butcher and her family, the new year has them temporarily set up in their family's thrift shop in Tacoma. They were staying in an RV after a fire in Auburn destroyed their home.
It's warm, piece of trailer that's disgusting right now.
The Butchers were last living in this RV. And this moment,
I broke down crying,
marks the bittersweet reunion between the Butchers and their home at Burns Tow Yard.
A bunch of my dad's high school yearbook, my pets' ashes.
Priceless mementos that are now missing from their trailer, which had been parked outside a Tacoma gas station on 64th and Pacific before surveillance shows it being stolen on Thanksgiving.
It's like they stole your life away, your memories.
Detectives say David Anello and Jason Frack were caught on camera inside the gas station moments before they took off with the trailer, which carried what little the butchers had left after they say their house burned down.
It's rough. It's like you already lost your house. What was in the house?
Both were eventually identified and have been charged with theft. Frack was arraigned on December 19th, and Anello is scheduled to be arraigned on January 16th. And though the trailer has been recovered,
Even though I don't like to look in it anymore because I literally break down crying.
Butcher says recovering from the financial and emotional burden of the theft has left them leaning on the kindness of their family and this online fundraiser as they do their best to get back on their feet and back into their trailer.
We try to help out as much as we can. I've been filling out job application after job application. I'm trying to get this store to look pretty enough to open it up.
For the Spotlight, I'm Nia Wong.
The butchers still don't know when they'll be able to live in their trailer again. I donated to the fundraiser, and I hope you will too. We've posted a link to their GoFundMe in the online version of the story at fox13seattle.com. And when the victims first reached out to me for help right after the RV was stolen, detectives on the Puget Sound Auto Theft Task Force located it at the tow yard and were even kind enough to pay the impound fee because the victims could not afford to get it back. Mention a stolen car in Pierce County, and David Anello's name immediately comes to mind. He's known on the streets as New York Dave and Spanaway Dave. He's been arrested 52 times and has more than 20 felony convictions. If he doesn't show up to court for his arraignment next week, a warrant will be issued for his arrest. Renton police are hoping you can help track down a convicted felon who is at the top of their most wanted list. This is Jamari Wilson. Detectives in the Violent Crime Unit say the 22-year-old has 7 warrants for his arrest for domestic violence and illegally having guns. In fact, police say they recovered this rifle from his home while he was on house arrest.
During the course of the next couple of months, his house was shot up at least 2 times. He decided at that point to cut his ankle monitor off, and he's been on the run ever since. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous.
Jamari Wilson is believed to still be in the Renton or surrounding areas. He's 5'9", 150 pounds with tattoos on his neck and face. If you know where he's hiding, submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. A 73-year-old professional dog walker is still recovering after a hit-and-run driver almost killed her on Christmas Day. Karen Miley was struck by a car near Seward Park in South Seattle while she was taking her cat for a walk. As the Spotlight's Jennifer Dowling reports, neighbors heard the crash and rushed to Miley's aid.
It's been kind of a haze, actually, and yeah, it's an awful lot to untangle.
Karen Miley spoke to us from her hospital bed after a hit-and-run driver nearly took her life on Christmas.
It's been hard, and I have this neck brace, so my neck is also got some trauma to it.
The professional pet caretaker was taking her own cat, Maximus Rex, for his nightly walk.
He's a big guy. He's probably about 15 pounds. He just likes having his mom spend time with him.
But the holiday turned into a nightmare for both of them.
My cat must have witnessed the whole thing, the poor guy.
A driver hit her here, leaving her with broken legs and a shattered pelvis, among other injuries.
Just waiting to see how things heal up.
It's terrifying.
Marla Whalen's family had just sat down to Christmas dinner.
Literally saying what we were grateful for, and we heard a very loud crash impact. Didn't know what it was. All 4 of us jumped up from the table.
Her daughter called 911.
My husband and I ran out. Mike was the first to get to her.
Police and EMTs arrived quickly. Ironically, Karen says she knew Ruth Dalton, another dog walker who died after she was attacked and run over in August. Karen even attended Ruth's memorial service.
Yeah, that was just a shock when I heard what happened to her. It really felt personal.
The driver that hit Karen not only left her battered and broken, but also took away her ability to make a living.
It hit me in the biggest week of the year. My customers have been great, but wow.
Friends and loved ones have created an online fundraiser for Karen. Another silver lining, Max survived.
He's very good at self-preservation, so I'm sure he just took off whenever it happened. I tried to get him on FaceTime, but we only got me.
For the Spotlight, I'm Jennifer Dowling.
The hit and run happened at the intersection of 52nd Avenue South and Orca Street in Seattle. Karen says she doesn't remember the crash, so she's hoping someone has surveillance video that can help Seattle police make an arrest. 5 police need your help to identify this suspect in a shooting. It was an extremely close call for the victim. Police say that victim left his apartment building when this man pulled out a gun and shot him in the head. The bullet only grazed his scalp. If you recognize the suspect, please contact 5 police. A Renton man has been arrested on child pornography charges, and detectives believe there could be more victims out there. 49-year-old Kevin McFarland was arrested at his Renton home following a cyber tip to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Investigators say McFarland has distinctive tattoos on his arms and shoulder, and those tattoos appeared in sexually explicit videos with minors.
Detectives believe that his actions may have gone back as far as 2016, where he was contacting potentially women and children, trying to videotape them and engage in all sorts of lewd behavior.
In some videos, investigators say McFarland drives around in a car asking women and underage girls for directions and to, quote, help with a dare. In one of those videos, investigators say he convinced a girl who admits she's a minor to let him smell her feet. McFarland was a registered sex offender up until 2023 and had multiple sex offense convictions for indecent exposure and rape of a child in the 2nd degree. The King County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone who may have been victimized by McFarland, even if it was years ago, to please come forward. An elderly woman had her purse snatched in Gig Harbor, and police say these 2 guys are connected to the case. Investigators say they were caught on camera using the victim's stolen credit cards. Gig Harbor police are investigating a string of several recent purse snatching cases, each targeting elderly women. Police are calling these 2 persons of interest. If you can identify either of them, please contact Gig Harbor Police. A new sheriff is now on the job in Pierce County. Keith Swank is new to the department, but no stranger to law enforcement, having spent 33 years with Seattle Police. He was sworn into office on January 1st, taking over for Ed Troyer, who did not run for re-election. We were there the day Troyer welcomed new members to the department.
I will enforce the law and abide by the law enforcement code of ethics.
For the final time as Pierce County Sheriff, Troyer held a swearing-in ceremony in late December for recently hired deputies and corrections deputies. He also promoted 2 sergeants to lieutenant, including Darren Moss, who you may recognize as the department's former public information officer. Each deputy had family members there to pin on their new badges. The next stop for the newly hired deputies is the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Center, where they'll undergo 720 hours of training. Sheriff Troyer says he's leaving the department in good shape, almost fully staffed, and is proud he was able to get deputies the largest raise they've ever had. As for what's next for him,
a lot of people know I love doing volunteer, charity work, foundation work, and I think what I'm going to do is take a breath and continue to do those things, settle, see what's next. But I'm not done. I'm just done after 40 years with this job.
And he wasn't done with the swearing-in ceremony either. He also swore in Pierce County Executive Bruce Dammeier and myself as honorary deputy sheriffs.
Mr. Rose is hereby recognized as an honorary deputy sheriff in appreciation of his relentless pursuit of justice for victims and his tireless efforts to ensure that suspects are held accountable for crimes committed against communities that we proudly serve.
Well, this was a huge honor and one I will be eternally grateful for. He even gave each of us an honorary deputy badge. But I have to say, this would not have happened without the thousands of you who have called in tips over the last 17 years to help every time I featured an unsolved case. So, thank you. Caught on camera, a man tries to sneak drugs into a youth detention facility using a football. Chehalis police say this man hid THC wax and other drugs in the football and chucked it over the fence at the Green Hill Youth Facility on December 23rd. Police say this isn't the first time something like this has happened, and these images were captured thanks to recent security upgrades in the area. If you recognize this guy, please call Chehalis Police. The search is on for a couple wanted in a 2-month-long crime spree, hitting dozens of local stores to steal electronics. Bonnie Lake police are asking for your help to find Sean Barrett and Alita Ainsbeck. Detectives say these 2 have stolen more than $72,000 worth of Apple Watches and Samsung phones since the start of October. Surveillance photos from some of the 30 different thefts show you how they dress so you can be on the lookout. Sometimes they dress in casual workout clothes like they're planning to go to the gym. They're usually both sporting some kind of sweatshirt, He likes to pull his up over a baseball cap. Barrett was caught on camera in both Lacey and Puyallup wearing that black Vans hat. And during a theft in Auburn, he was dressed in camo from shorts to jacket to hat. For Ainsbeck, well, she favors ripped jeans like the one you see here when she hit the Tacoma T-Mobile store. She often wears slides like she did in Covington, where you can also see a butterfly tattoo on her chest in this image if you look closely. Sometimes, though, she wears Ugg-style boots like she did at the Bonnie Lake T-Mobile store. Detectives say they've also hit stores in Everett, Linwood, Bothell, Seattle, Bellevue, Kirkland, Federal Way, Enumclaw, Tacoma, Silverdale, and Chehalis. Sean Barrett is 46 years old. Aleda Ainsbeck is 29 years old. She's got a large tattoo on the left side of her neck. Police say they are transient, so if you spot either of them or they come into your store, call 911 immediately. Thieves with a need for speed are caught on camera in Renton stealing an electric scooter. And this was no ordinary scooter. It was a limited edition Red Bull racing scooter signed by famous race car drivers. As the Spotlight's Dave Detling tells us, the thieves targeted a number of homes along Lake Washington Boulevard.
It's the kind of scooters that the race drivers drive around in the pits.
Stephanie Fife's family e-scooter isn't like one of those Lime or Bird scooters you see around town. Theirs is rather unique, or was.
It's got some big fat tires on it. It goes 20 miles an hour. It's carbon fiber, and it's signed by Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez.
The limited edition Red Bull racing scooter was lifted on Monday by 3 people casing this Renton neighborhood.
We were in the house sleeping.
The thieves gained access to the Fife's garage, helping themselves to the $6,500 e-scooter.
Yeah, I didn't hear them coming in and out, and they drove up and down the street quite a few times.
They're even accused of breaking into a neighbor's rental car and stealing iPads.
One had like a Grinch-looking hat and a hoodie, and the other one had a hoodie and one of those like ski mask things on. The other one didn't get out of the car.
Neighbors telling Renton police they saw the suspects get in and out of a Mercedes SUV. The Fifes, they just want their e-scooter back, as it was a gift purchase rooted in their love of race car driving.
We went on our first big, huge family trip and went to Amsterdam and got to see our first Formula One race. This was, belonged to a family and a kid who, it's a really special scooter. It's not just like a random scooter.
For the Spotlight, I'm Dave Detling.
Since October, we brought you several stories here on the Spotlight where a band touring through Seattle had all of their gear stolen while it was stowed in a vehicle. Now it's happened to a local musician in Tacoma, serving as another reminder to never leave valuables in your vehicle, especially if they're irreplaceable. Spotlight Shira Matsuzawa spoke with the victim about what was taken.
Who's to tell me how I'm feeling? Who's to tell me what to think?
This is Tyler McGinnis.
If I'm making you uncomfortable.
As a full-time musician with the band The Hippocrats, he relies on each and every piece of his musical gear. Someone stole $8,000 worth of it from his locked truck. He says it was parked right in front of his home in Tacoma. Whoever stole it took it right off his own property.
My heart sunk.
Inside the truck,
PA system, I had a lot of guitar pedals, a lot of harmonicas, cables and cords, so many cables and cords. I also have a band called The Hippocrats. I had a lot of our merchandise stolen, included vinyl records, CDs, koozies, t-shirts.
And irreplaceable items, like this portrait of a couple they named Pat and Bev. Tyler found it at a thrift store, and it serves as their band's mascot.
And they've come to hundreds and hundreds of shows with us.
His partner, Chelsea Wilding, wanted to do everything she could to help.
And I was like, thankfully, we're both musicians. Maybe I have some of what you need. I was like, I have a mic cable, but he had actually taken that with him.
And it's a microphone Chelsea has had for 10 years, and it's sentimental.
You never expect this sort of thing to happen. When it happens, you feel so hopeless because you feel invaded.
Tyler filed a police report, contacted his insurance, then went to the Guitar Center to replace what was lost because he had a gig the next day. But his visit there struck a chord. The store told Tyler someone had been there earlier trying to sell his gear.
It was pretty disheartening.
For the Spotlight, I'm Shira Matsuzawa.
Well, Tyler's partner started a GoFundMe to replace the stolen music gear. The goal was set at $5,000, and it's raised over $8,000 so far. We have an update to a story we recently brought you here on the Spotlight. A West Seattle bakery received a very generous donation after suffering a major setback right before the holidays. Lovely and Dapper Desserts is a mobile cake business that delivers baked goods to events like the Seattle Christmas Market. Right before the busy holiday season, someone stole their 2006 Tahoe SUV, a crucial part of the family business. Owners Drew and Emily Crane tell us after the story aired, they received an email from two generous strangers who stepped up and bought them a new Tahoe.
They just wanted us to succeed and were inspired by our little family business, and so they just wanted to do something to help.
Everything happened just
in the nick of time.
Yeah, in the nick of time. Just amazing.
The Cranes are now planning to open a brick and mortar bakery in Olympia in February. As for those generous donors, the couple tells us they sent them a card that says, "Cakes for Life." Let's make that the theme for 2025, standing up for each other. That does it for us tonight on The Spotlight. Until next week, I'm David Rose. Stay safe.